There are a number of different ways to purchase a fixed asset. In this lesson, I'll list the different ways related to procurement and then go briefly into more detail about purchase requisitions. Depending on the organisation and also on the types of fixed asset being purchased, there are a number of different purchase flows that can be followed. Some companies may create a purchase requisition and then convert the purchase requisition into a purchase order, or just create the purchase order directly. If evaluated goods receipt is used for other purchases, an organisation may prefer to do the same for fixed assets, unless local accounting requirements require the invoice to be received before postings are made to the asset and general ledger. If the requester is familiar with creating asset master records, he may create one from inside the purchase requisition or purchase order transaction. If not, he may need to ask the asset accounting department to create one before he raises the purchase order. Sometimes assets under construction already exist for this purpose, and the assets are only created at the end of the process. I'm just going to run quickly through some definitions for those of you not familiar with procurement. A purchase requisition is an internal document, usually reviewed by a central purchasing department, who may amend or add items so that only approved suppliers are used and acceptable terms and conditions are agreed. A purchase order is an external document sent to the supplier to confirm the price, quantity, delivery, and terms and conditions of the item being ordered. An asset under construction is a temporary asset to collect costs until the final asset is brought into use. For example, where an asset such as a building or plant has multiple components to build it, including labour. Evaluated goods receipt updates the ledger immediately and might be used where the asset needs to be capitalised on receipt. With a non-valuated goods receipt, the asset and therefore the general ledger will only be updated when the invoice is posted. The Fury app that we're using here is called Create Purchase Requisition Advanced. It's the app that's also used in the SAP Best Practices tutorials, and it's based on the GUI transaction ME51N. However, there is another app simply called Create Purchase Requisition which can also be used. The main fields that need to be filled are indicated, but they vary in different organisations. Sometimes the central purchasing department may add fields such as the supplier before converting it to a purchase order. If you have created an asset beforehand, you can enter the number in the Account Assignment tab of the line item. You can then check or complete the other tabs. For example, the Valuation tab contains information about the price, quantity, and whether there'll be a goods receipt or not, and whether it's valuated. If you did not already create an asset beforehand, you can click on the Assets button to create one from inside the Purchase Requisition app. If you don't immediately see the Create Asset button in the Account Assignment tab, you can toggle the Layout button at the top left of the Account Assignment tab. When you click on the Assets button to create a new asset, a pop-up will appear which you can complete as required, or click on additional information to go to the Asset Master record to see fields not shown in the pop-up. Then click Distribute when ready. Each organisation will have its own process for approving purchases, so we won't go into approvals and workflows here. Once the purchase requisition is complete, the next step is to convert it into a purchase order. With Fury, you can use the app Manage Purchase Requisitions to amend a purchase requisition or convert it, but there's no exact equivalent in the GUI. One method in the GUI is to go into ME21N, switch on the document overview, select Purchase Requisitions from the drop-down of the Selection Variant button, and drag the purchase requisition from the overview tree to the shopping cart. With the Manage Purchase Requisitions app, you can simply select the purchase requisition, click on the arrow at the right end of the line to drill down into it to check it and add any missing information, and then return to the main screen, and with the purchase requisition selected, click on the Create Purchase Order button. As you can see from the slide, the purchase order contains similar fields to the purchase requisition.